I'm Connor Northrup, and joining me is UFC flyweight Tyson Nam, who takes on Ryan Benoit at UFC's June 13th event. How you doing, Tyson?
I'm doing great. Just came back from the beach, so I'm doing awesome.
Yeah, and this is actually the second time we're hearing that because we had some connection failures, but we're pushing on here just like everyone else is pushing on during this time. What's it like for you to be able to compete during a time like this where there is so much things going on between the pandemic and also the current protests?
Yeah, with everything going on in the world, it's almost like a movie every time I turn on the TV to watch the news or even pull up social media. But I try to put in the back of my mind and know that I got one goal in a little over a week right now, and that's fighting for the UFC against Ryan Benoit.
Yeah. And now you just fought in last February too, and I feel like you're kind of in that group that was, I don't know if the word lucky is the right word, but just someone that was able to get a fight in, but before everything kind of went crazy too on one of those cards. I know. Are you grateful for that you were kind of able to fight right before, a time where a lot of people didn't know, when they were going to get back to the cage?
Yeah, so grateful. When everything started happening, everything started shutting down, talks of the UFC not having shows anymore. When that started going, I called up my manager and I told him, hey, when things start up, it might start tomorrow, it might start next year, but when it does happen, I know there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be out of shape, and I'll be staying in shape, ready to go. So once they start opening up, throw my name in the hat because I'm ready to fight when they start back up again.
Yeah. And the last fight too, it took place in New Zealand, and you were kind of talking before we started recording about some places were got through this quite quickly, and New Zealand was one of those places. Like when you guys were over there, was there any like talks even about like the pandemic over there or anything like that?
Not at all. I mean, there's yeah, that was right during the time when everything was starting to happen. So it was me, my team, traveling over there. It was like, oh shit, is it even safe to be going? We're all masked up. I had a mask and I had a hoodie over my head during the during the plane ride over there. But we got there, no one was wearing masks. It was almost kind of like it wasn't even a thing until we came back a couple weeks later. Everything got shut down.
Yeah. In New Zealand, they were one of the countries that was, I mean, they got through it pretty quickly. They didn't have many known cases. I know that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they probably got a better people running that part
Better
of the
system.
world.
Yeah.
I think so. People listen and obey over there or something.
Yeah. And also, being on one of these cards too, and I think yours will be what, I guess the sixth event since quarantine. For the UFC, was there any? Did you have any kind of reserves about getting on one of these cards, or or was this a no-brainer, or were you kind of waiting for other guys to do it Jacksonville and kind of see how it played out?
No brainer. I mean, if I was gonna get put on the very first card, yeah, put me on. Like I said, I mean, I was working out every day. I got let go from my job as probably like 90% of the people out there. So there wasn't anything to do but work out. So shit, I'm in shape. I'm ready to fight. I wasn't snacking too much. So when everything started happening, talks of the fights were starting to open up again. It's like, yeah, put me on.
Yeah. Was that even more of a motivation to get in there too? The fact that, like you said, you are kind of currently unemployed. So, like, was this like a big chance for you?
Yeah, and it was even more so out of just straight boredom. Just what the hell am I doing? I work out, I play video games, and I stay in the house. I'm like a caged animal. Let me out. Let me go do something.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. Like for the first like 20 minutes, it's like nice. You're like, oh, it's nothing to do. As soon as that's over, You're like, I need to get moving here.
Yeah, I'm a person that needs to be out and about doing something. I can't be sleeping until 9, 10, 11 o'clock and then start going because I feel like, I wake up that late and my whole day is wasted already. I need to get up and do something.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, like you're an active guy, and I think you can kind of see that with your UFC career so far. I mean, it seems like it's kind of since you signed with them, it's kind of gone like really fast. I mean, if you look at it, you debuted in September. Now this will be your third fight with the UFC. Has time gone by fast since joining the UFC?
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster of emotions, ups and downs, more down since, I'm coming off of two losses. But third time might be the charm.
For sure. And the fact that like you are 36, and some guys can have careers for a long time, but for you, I mean, is staying active, is that a big part of just trying to get in as many fights as you can right now?
Well, I started playing sports when I was probably 5 years old, and I've never ever gotten out of shape. So, working out, staying in shape, competing has always been an everyday thing for me. I did not wrestle growing up, so I don't feel like I've sustained a lot of the injuries that a lot
Okay.
of wrestlers are the ones that sustain a lot of the injuries. Going through that because it's such a grueling sport. I was more into like basketball and baseball and things of that sort. So even though I am 36 years young, I feel like my body hasn't been through the wear and tear that majority of fighters that are predominantly wrestlers coming in. I have a healthy body. I even feel better in my mid 30s than I actually did in my mid 20s. It could be a little bit of trial and error of wisdom, of better training, and eating healthier, paying attention to that. But I actually feel better now than I did a decade ago.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, like you say, you feel better than you did a decade ago. How do you feel like physically right now with, just about a week away from your fight?
So good. I'm laid off. I ain't got nothing to do but train. This is actually the first time in my mixed martial arts career that I've been able to just train full time. I guess it just took a pandemic for me to do it, but you know, just like my UFC career, MMA career, better late than never.
Yeah. Was there a lot of restrictions in Hawaii to go to the gym and that kind of thing?
Yeah, when it first started, you're only supposed to be able to go to like the store for groceries of that sort. Like the first 2 weeks, I got some weights at home. I do that, do some cardio, hit the bag at my house of that sort. But the fight with Ryan, I was actually supposed to have done at the beginning. They were talking at the beginning of May. So I was like, Coach, you got to open up the gym. I got to start actually training, sparring with partners. But, so it's actually been a really long camp for myself. So I was able to get out, start training like normal with my training partners. We made sure that if you're coughing, if you're sneezing, stay home. Don't be an asshole. Don't come to the gym.
Yeah.
But everybody's been healthy. At least everybody in my circle, we've abided by the quarantine rules of just staying in. Do the workouts that you could do at your house and until our coach opened up the gym and was able to train full time.
Yeah. And just going off of that too, I mean, how do you stack up against a guy like Benoit?
Very well. I like his style. He comes forward. He throws big shots. I like to do the same. I always feel that these guys. Ryan's known to knock people out. He's got good knockout power. I mean, he wrestles. He can do everything. But especially in that pocket, they can hit me hard, but I always feel like I can hit them harder.
Yeah.
Roll of the dice.
Exactly. And just like looking at like your UFC career too, since September, I mean, it seems like you've had a pretty tough hand dealt to you right off the bat. I mean, you had Sergio Pettis, Kai Kara France, which I think there's an argument that obviously Kai Kara France is in the top 15, but I mean, I think Sergio could be in there too. Obviously, he's with Bellator now, but with those fights and everything too, I mean, do you feel like you've had a pretty tough go early on, like some really tough tests early on?
Well, I've only expected tough goals right from the get-go. You know, Sergio at that time was ranked number 5 in the UFC, and then Kai was ranked number 7 when I fought him. So 2 top 10 contenders back to back. Don't mean anything to me. I already gone over to Brazil and knocked out the number 6 bantamweight in the world in 2012. 2017, I knocked out the former number 1 UFC contender. So I mean, I didn't expect anybody a stepping stone. I didn't want any stepping stones. I wanted to make a mark and show that I, you know, belong here in the fighting with the best.
Yeah. How do you feel like those fights prepared you for now?
You know, it took 2 fights in the UFC for me to realize that, you know, I probably have to work on certain things, switch up some tactics that I've actually been working on. So you guys might see a new Tyson Nam come June 13th.
Yeah.
New and improved.
Yeah. Any tactics you can share with us, or are you keeping those close to the vest?
Yeah, no, you guys gotta tune in. I can't spoil any surprises yet.
I gotcha. And I mean, anything else too, Tyson? Before I let you go.
Thank you, UFC, making all of this happen. You know, live sports. I think the only other live sports right now is Korean baseball. I don't think a lot of people is watching that. So, yeah, everybody loves people punching each other in the face. So keep watching, keep supporting, and you know, the bad times are here, but it can't last forever.
Yeah. Is there any like added bonus to that too? The fact that, you know, more eyes kind of are on you guys right now when there's, you know, UFC's kind of one of the only shows in town.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for every fighter, it serves even more of a purpose for us to entertain everybody that's at home, bored, upset with just seeing their significant other 24/7. I mean, I can get a little bit of mentally challenging, but you know, mixed martial arts UFC is back for where we're here to entertain you guys and you know, give us some cheers, give us some applause, and we'll help you guys get through these tough times.
Yeah. All right, Tyson. Well, thanks for the time. I'm glad we were able to push through and get through the internet issue. But thanks a lot, and I wish you the best come June 13th.
All right. Thanks a lot, Connor.
Take care.